Hello everybody, so this is Gianfranco H here, and we are facing Unholy Soul. Anyway, this is another high skill match replay of Infernoble, and let's see. Yeah, we won the dice roll. Not every match that I'm going to post is going to be like this, where we won the dice roll, but yeah, this is a coincidence. Anyway, my promise is that you will learn something new from this. So here we go. What do you see? Three hand traps, and we see 4 good cards. He has double need, we have double Gearfried. I think this by itself looks really interesting. So what would you do? We have a lot of choices here. We could choose to not play around anything. We could play around one hand trap. We could play around 2 hand traps. I am not sure if we could play around these 3 specifically, Vela Snip. If he used them optimally, probably we can't. But of course, it's game 1. I wouldn't I wouldn't think that he has 3 hand traps. My guess is that he has 1, maybe 2, depending on how he used the first one. So here I decided to go for the play that plays around Nib or Imperm without Gearfried, and that's just Ogier Renault Extender, because that lets me summon Dolphin. I think putting Gearfried before Halki is mostly beneficial when we summon Gemba, but again, I would summon Gemba and not Dolphin if I opened like 2 equips, because then if I open 2 equips and summon Dolphin, I wouldn't be able to resolve 2 power tools. You know what? I'm getting too heavy with theory, and we haven't even started. So let's go. This was my pick. I decided to go for Ogier Renault, as I told you. And yeah, we have Lady, so we can. The theory behind this play is to have an extender before. I mean, an extender and Isolde. An extender level 1 tuner. That means that Dolphin and this can make Herald, and I have another tuner to make Halki. And then give it like the cherry at the top of the cake. Anyway, so we play around Ogre or Gamma. Not really Droll because we already searched twice. And putting Ogre here, it could only be bad if we want to later use him on Gearfried. But we already have Oliver for that, so it's okay. We summon Dolphin and we wanted to. He changed Nib immediately. That should tell us that he wants to protect his hand from Dolphin, and not because of the private info, but because of a hand trap with low attack, or because of an starter with low attack. In this case, it was both. But I had a feeling that he could have another hand trap, and I also was like, well, if I summon Gearfried and then use Oliver token to make Halki, I don't have a Gemba access, so my endboard is not going to be really big. So I might as well try to go for the big endboard and then Gearfried. So stick to the game plan. And you know what's gonna happen. He's gonna change one of these 2. He chooses Ash. I think it doesn't matter. No, actually it does matter. Because then on his turn, I'm gonna use Halki, and if he used Veiler here, he could have an Ash to stop my Halki summon Roland. Roland try to search. Anyway, we keep going. We pass on just Gearfried and hot follow up. And he draws. Well, I mean, he's really big brain. He's really skillful. I told you this was going to be a skillful match, so he discard Ash because he knows his ratios. He knows he's gonna draw an Ash. That's like just a pro. Holy, yeah. Anyway, so he goes for trying to do a play. Thankfully for us, this is Rose and not Ray, which means Gearfried is putting this on check. If he tries to use the effect, we pop and that's it. So here we do what we have to do, summon the follow-up, and just put him on check. So he's not going to use the effect because that would be a -1. So he's passing, I mean, he's confident. He has the same amount of interruption as the last turn. Ash, Veiler, Nip. Yeah, it's like we are on turn 1 all over again. And we top deck, I mean, sorry, I forgot to tell you. So I decided to add Renat with Roland because it makes sense. I mean, my other targets are usually Connector and Gearfried, but I already use Connector as a 1-card combo. And I already had Gearfried, so yeah, Renat. And we top the Gearfried. So I told you, you must play 3 Gearfrieds. And this is why. Because you wanna have all 3 on the same time. Just kidding. Anyway, so from here I see game. Like pretty easily. Do you see game? How? Well, if you play build like mine and you play Burn the Floor, that's how. So we just summon this, get the R, but we need to put Blade on Graveyard. Yeah, that's easy. We just make Floor here. But we want to make really sure that we play around hand drops all the time. So before we put Floor, I am already putting my Gearfried negate. So at this point, I have 2 negates. And I'm going under 5 summons, so if he had Nip, that wouldn't matter, and I have 2 negates for 2 hand traps. Yeah, because ran out 1, Gearfried 2, Floor 3, DDR 4. That's it. And this is game. Because that's 2k, and I grab the Nip, and that's 6k, plus 500 that we don't need. Easy. Who said Infernoble doesn't have grind game? When Aurora doesn't resolve? I don't know who said it, but that's not entirely true. So game 2, he opened like come on. He opened Brave, Fusion Destiny, Ray, and how can I say this? I'm going first card that he's gonna set, and he's gonna. I mean, he opened Maxi, a legal Maxi, yeah. And what do we have? We have double normal summon and engine, but this is pretty good engine. You know, this engine can push through a lot. So we just let him full combo, which is funny because usually Sky Striker doesn't have too much of a combo, but you know, with Brave and Fish and Destiny, he can do something. He can do. Now, I think if he would unduck that, this would have been a really different game, but he's not unduck that. Or he was overconfident, he rather the follow-up, because he already had 2 bodies here. Anyway. So we are going up against Omni Negate, Pop, a lot of follow-up because he has 5 bodies and Array in Graveyard. And this has to be killed twice in battle. So he has a gigantic wall and Share that is going to plus him a lot. An infinite follow-up. I mean, if we don't win here, he has +2, +2, plus Omni Negate again, a lot of recovery, plus I don't know how much I'm gonna let him draw. So you see this hand with 3 normal summons and a gigantic wall, but realistically just 3 interruptions. I mean 2 and whatever he can draw. What do you think we can do? Let me tell you, we are going to OTK this guy. What? But Infernoble can only go first. What are you gonna do? So let's see. Of course, I mean we gotta be aware that our power cards are Connector and Gearfried. He doesn't know we have Dolphin in hand. He doesn't know we have Gemba in hand, so we gotta take advantage. So Durendal, in this case, could be Flint, Red Layer, Oliver. And I think I have to use it early to enable Gearfried and I want to have a fire to enable Renat. I don't want a minus, so Oliver is not an option, and I already have tuner access, so I'd rather summon either Flint or Red Layer. And another thing, if we use Durenda later on, this becomes an extra interruption because this is gonna pop our monster that is equipped with Durendal when we wanna use Durendal, so it's gonna be really beneficial for them if they know what they are doing. So we gotta start with Durendal to play around this. So this cannot trade with Durendal and anything else. At best, this is trading with Dissolve. Yeah. So that's what we do. That also puts him on check of having a good connector, because that means connector is gonna be able to rip something bigger out of hand. And yeah, he already have an interruption. But thankfully for us, he has a lot of things. So it's gonna be really hard for him to use Imperm as an interruption. Even if we somehow clear the board, we could just leave this or this, so this doesn't become live. We use connector. We want him to take the bait with Rider, but he doesn't. So now he knows, oh, good, an extra card that he wastes because, we want this to be in deck. Anyway, at this point, I'm like, there's no point on using Dolphin because if he let connector resolve and Durandal resolve, there's nothing to hit here except for Nip. Because Ash would have been used, Ogre would have been used, Droll would have been used, maybe Lancia, but yeah, I'd rather just play around Lancia by summoning Gearfit now instead of using this and he Lancia Chainlink too. So yeah, it makes the most sense because now with Gearfit, this can threaten Rip Nip. So I'm like, yeah, he could just negate this or pop this on summon before I can even use Dolphin. And that's exactly what's gonna happen. Yeah, in this case, I don't wanna use my battle phase to trade interruptions because he has a gigantic follow-up. It's gonna be really hard for us to FTK or put a lot of interruptions because just his hand is a negate, a negate. So and I already know he is on share right. I mean this is live, so anything that we add, we gotta be careful because he could draw a hand trap. So yeah, he took the bait. Now I only have to take care about this and the unknowns. So here we gotta decide, do we wanna reveal that we have a dead card in hand and use Dolphin effect here? Or we wanna keep this in hand, so maybe, I mean, the best scenario for us is that he let us summon Isolde and use Isolde second effect. Because then we could get Renat to plus an extender. But that's too much to ask for. So we should just do what's best, and that is use Dolphin, because as long as there is no nib here, we should have, we should be close to game. Why? Because he's gonna be forced to use DPE either on Isolde or on Unicorn. So yeah, we just make sure that we have nothing to be afraid of. We make it so, of course, he's gonna use DPE, and now we summon Renat, and we should have add back the Renat. I didn't because I decided that this is not gonna be useful at all. I mean, maybe as a discard fodder, but I'm not even gonna use Unicorn. So why discard fodder for what? Also, maybe later on I can do something with DDR to summon this and grab back something, because my game plan here, believe it or not, is to OTK. How? Well, the wall is not super gigantic anymore. It only has 3 bodies, and yeah, array. But if we get to Gearfried, Gearfried is clearing 2 bodies. If we get to Fleur, Fleur is clearing 2 bodies. So yeah, there's a chance. And of course, any of those is dealing with Ray. So there is a realistic chance. But the thing is that we open Gemba, so we cannot mill 2, we have to mill 4. I mean, we could also mill 1 and summon Renault and use Renault effect to grab maybe a Living Fossil, summon Gemba. But that's not too good. Because then the only way to access Gearfried is with DDR. If we mill 4, we can only resolve 1 power tool. And that 1 power tool is going to be 2 DDRs, 1 Durandal, so 66% chance. But you know what? At this point, that's our best hope. So we go for that. Yeah, so far we have only used one search. I mean, he only drew 1 of share right. We keep comboing. And here I took a long time to decide which line of play I wanted to use. So I decided that, you know what, 100% sure this is the only line of play that we can make. And that's the old Balmung combo. But we are not gonna summon Charles now, we are gonna summon Fleur. So yeah, pop 2, summon the family. And here we are gonna summon Fleur. So I told you that the game plan is Gearfried. And how do we access Gearfried? Power tool. So if we do this now and we use power tool at the end, we are gonna have more bodies to attack. If we use power tool early, we would probably have to get rid of the power tool and have less bodies. So we do it like this. Yeah, we mill 1. I mean, we cannot make Charles because we will need to mill a level 2. So Fleur is really useful. You have no idea how much, because he can also pop this. So yeah, my idea originally was to Fleur pop one of these 3. But you know what? It's fine if we pop this because that summons Power Tool and Cold Wind. So Cold Wind can deal with Enchantress. Gearfried with these 2. And then this Power Tool attack directly. So yeah, everything is going according to the plan. Oh, so we have reached this point. That's like already, and we are about to end the combo. And he only drew 1 of share right, so that's pretty important. Like, we shouldn't be intimidated or say, you know what, we need to pass because we don't want to give them draws. Yeah, so I like to use, this is not Maxi. This is a really bad Maxi because you can play around this. So now we make power tool. We just pray here, because if we don't get DDR, it would have been a totally different game. We got DDR. So he only drew twice, and those 2 draws were hand draws. So this guy, yeah, he drew whatever he wanted to draw. But that's not enough. At this point, we are not gonna we are not gonna use any effect that he could dash. But we are not done, so we have to use Blade, not only because we need a discard. I mean, we could have had Durandal, but we need to banish Gearfried, so no matter what, we needed to give him a third draw. You know what? A third hand trap! I told you, this guy is insane. So he just draws hand traps. like breakfast. Yeah. Like if it was his job. Anyway. So right now, we don't care because this could negate this. I mean, if he Baylor this, it's fine. I mean, this is not doing anything here. So right now, yeah. So if we had Durandal of Renault, we could dump Durandal and have this as 300 more attack, which couldn't be useful. I mean, fortunately not, because just this is going to be over 8k. So yeah, but just to keep in mind, this could have been on field if I didn't misplay. So here we just put Oliver. We don't want to add back because, you know, why give them more trophies? This is already the game. And we have 2 negates, so he will need 2 hand drops here. one of these is dealing with raid, the other one with the hand trap. So this is the game. We just attacked, equip the token, so we don't have to deal with Draco back. And that's minus 15. His effect. I'm gonna go with Gear Fit because you know this is once per turn and this is only monster. You wanna save this for bigger stuff. You attack here and then yeah, we go for game. This is 44, 7400. Yeah, that is the game. 77 we had played. So that's it. Hope you learned something. I think I explained a lot of things here, even though this was just 2-0. But you know, um, I think this requires some level of skill to do. Please play Fleur. The only excuse to not play this is if you're playing in real life. But on DB, please play this. Over what, Gianfranco? Over Savage. But Savage is useful. Yeah, I know. Trust me. I've been playing Savage since its release. But this will gives you more wins. Trust me on this one. Hope you have a good day and see you at the top.